Imagine a future where cancer is treated with beams of light. They pass harmlessly through the body, leaving healthy tissue intact, selectively destroying only tumors. You can stop imagining because this treatment resides fully in our present. It's being used right now to take on one of the most common forms of cancer, thanks to a landmark discovery in the lab of Naomi Halas.
I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, and I was very much my dad's kid and very much a tomboy, and my father really loved that. I was the kid who brought the tools, who helped him fix things, and he taught me also how to fly. So we flew airplanes, and I was the co-pilot. I really learned that with physics and engineering, you could do anything. But I grew up during the era when girls were discouraged from taking science classes. You can't imagine that. I hope you can't imagine that anymore.
Halas spent her first 2 years at college as a music major.
Other students, there were pre-med students, they were starting to talk about their homework, and I was helping them. And then one of them finally stopped and said, "Wait a minute, you're a music major. How come you're helping us with our homework?"
A PhD in physics from Bryn Mawr would lead Halas to Rice University to research how light and matter interact. In the 90s, Halas found herself holding a breakthrough in her hand, a small glass vial of shimmering liquid. The suspension contained trillions of nanoscale glass particles, chemically plated with a surface layer of gold atoms. They were called nanoshells, and they interacted with light in a revolutionary way.
A molecule's structure determines how it interacts with different wavelengths of light. For example, when molecules in our body tissue encounter the shorter wavelength of this green light, they absorb the light, blocking it. But the longer wavelength of red light passes through. Halas realized that by manipulating the dimensions of the glass core and gold shell, she could design the nanoshells to absorb specific wavelengths of light. And even at that tiny scale, the gold atoms, like any other metal, would convert that absorbed energy to heat.
The implications would eventually become clear to Halas. Nanoshells could potentially cure cancer.
Because tumors grow so quickly, they generate lots of defective porous blood vessels. In theory, a dose of super tiny nanoshells injected into the bloodstream would naturally find their way through, filtering into the tumor. Then, the patient could be treated with a long wavelength laser from outside the body. The light would pass harmlessly through healthy tissue, heat up the nanoshells collected in the tumor, and destroy the cancer from within.
Halas got to work testing the procedure on cancer-ridden mice.
We treated them, and all the mice were surviving. The tumors were gone. Well, nobody budgeted for the mice not to die. The mice are supposed to die, right? You have to house them, you have to feed them, and they keep living.
Decades later, the first cancer-treating nanoshells designed for human trials were injected into men with prostate cancer. And when the lasers were powered down, all patients in the trial were cancer-free.
Personally, for me, my father, who I obviously had this wonderful bond with for his whole life, later in life, he got prostate cancer, and he had to undergo the conventional radiation treatments. And so he used to say to me, if you can help one person with this, if you can help one man to not go through what I went through, it would be worth it.
As nanoshell cancer treatment continues to be refined, researchers are exploring the role of nanoshells in drug delivery systems, advanced imaging, novel material designs, and even clean energy production. The future of science is built on ideas exactly like the nanoshells in Halas's lab. Tiny, powerful, and ready to change the world.